Well, let him get down there and
he is going to encourage the students who attended the exclusive prom to attend that one. The students who are hosting the integrated prom offer a great example.
Well, joining us now from Atlanta is Neal Boortz, who hosts a nationally syndicated radio program and who was critical of me today. So, Neal, I'm against the prom, and I'm for Georgia's elected officials speaking out against it, leadership, and you're on my case? What's that all about?
No, you're not. You're not for Georgia. You want Sonny Perdue to be on your timetable. I want to apologize to you for the people of Georgia because our governor did not make himself available to you whenever you deemed that to be necessary.
Don't give me. He had 5 days to make a comment. He could have talked to the Associated Press. He could have talked to you. He talks to nobody. He's hiding under his desk.
It's a private
under his desk.
Party. It's a private. I don't. You're spreading so much misinformation about this. I don't know whether you're doing it out of malice or out of ignorance. It's a private party, Bill. It wasn't a high school function.
Sorry, Neal, you are distorting and spinning. It was an organized within the high school, okay? Everyone admits that. Everyone admits it. It was organized within the high school, and the only reason they took it out of the school is because they had federal civil rights situation to deal with if they put it in the school. It was organized within that high school. Everyone admits that.
There are 8,300 people that live in Taylor County, Georgia. The reason they go to Americus or to Columbus for these parties is because there's not one single facility in that city or in Butler, Georgia, where they could hold it. This party was no more organized in that school than was, hey, let's get together at the Dairy Queen this afternoon.
Who organized the party then?
The students did.
Oh, wait a minute. Where did they organize it?
Listen, as I said, Bill, now listen to me. If the students get together and they say, let's meet at the Dairy Queen this afternoon, and they meet at the Dairy Queen, and then somebody punches somebody out there, is that a fight that is sanctioned by the school because they agreed to meet there at the school?
Neal, look, if you want to live in the land of Oz, you feel free to do that. This was billed as a prom for the Taylor High School. It was organized within the school. They took it out of the school because it's against the law to do that on school property. They're having an integrated prom within the school, okay? And you ought to be at that prom, and so should the governor, to congratulate those kids. But look, let's move along here. You can't possibly, Neal, because I know you, you can't possibly think an all-white alternative prom is a good thing. You can't possibly think that.
It wasn't a prom. It was a private party, and the black students at this school had their private party too, which you seem to fail to mention every time you bring this up.
No, they did not have an organized function anywhere. That's another fallacious statement. You know, I'm really surprised. You're usually a straight guy. The blacks didn't have an all-black party, and you know it.
There is only one place in this country where this whole story is an issue at all. It's not a controversy in Georgia. It's not a controversy anywhere but on your show, and one might suspect that you're running to this to give you some cover maybe for this alleged hubcap incident that happened at your fundraiser.
You know, you're a vicious son of a saying that. You are. Because you know that's a fallacious story. No. And I'm going to bleep out my remark there, and I apologize for it. You're a vicious guy. No, you're a vicious guy, you know? You know that's a fallacious story. You're throwing that out to be, you know, to smear me, because all I object to is this kind of exclusion in a high school, all right? And you will do anything to justify it because you don't like the story.
You are looking to establish some sort of a credibility by going after a private party of the type that probably happened in the last couple of weeks in 8,000 high schools around this country.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable that you're condoning this. It really is, you know? I mean, we're all Americans here, and we're not supposed to be exclusionary, particularly in the educational process. And you're condoning this. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
This was not part of the educational process, Bill.
It was organized within the school. It's saying let me break this down so even you can understand it. It's saying to students in the Taylor School, you are not good enough to come to our party because you are black. That's what it's saying.
Let me ask you one more question before I get cut off here. Let's say that a guy asks a girl out for a date at school. Will you go out with me Friday night? She says, yes, I will. And on that date, there occurs maybe a date rape. Is the school responsible for that date rape, Bill? Because it was organized and planned within the school.
Right,
give
look,
me a break and give these kids
Neal,
a break.
I mean, I hope you realize how foolish that comparison is. I mean, here we have a situation where everybody in the school acknowledges it's not the right thing to do. It's the wrong thing to do. Yet the governor, the superintendent, the principal, no one will stand up and say, this is not what we're about in Georgia. See, I don't believe that Georgians approve of this. And the tortured logic to rationalize the fact that it took place offends me as an American. What don't you get about the United States, Neal? We're supposed to be encouraging people to be all together in the war on terror and everything else. And by using tortured logic to justify this, it demeans you.
And what part of freedom of association escapes your great intellect, Bill?
Yeah. Freedom of association is fine outside of a school process. This was organized within the school for the sole purpose of excluding black students. It's a disgrace. But I'm going to give you the last word. Go ahead.
Oh, no, Bill, that's okay. I just, again, want to apologize on behalf of the people of Georgia because our governor hasn't made himself available to you at your insistence and on your demand.
All right, Neal Boortz, there you go. In a moment, the